All right, friends. Hello, hello, hello. This is Lauren Conaway reporting to you live for IHKC Live from Global Entrepreneurship Week. And as you can see over my shoulder, we are actually currently enjoying ESO Day. It is all about the entrepreneurial support organizations that help entrepreneurs and small businesses thrive. So I just wanted to show you, there's Mike Carmona, one of the masterminds behind this glorious week. For those of you who have not already plugged in to Global Entrepreneurship Week, know that here in Kansas City, we enjoy the largest celebration worldwide, which is amazing, and we want you to be a part of it. So come on down, make sure there are plenty of innovators presenting content. You can go to GEWKC.com to fill out your agenda, figure out where you want to be, but everything is free, and there are some incredible entrepreneurial community leaders who are ready to help usher you in to success in your business. Now, we're going to come over here. You're going to bear with me for a second because I'm trying to walk backwards. We don't know how well that's going to go, but we have with us today, we have Callie England, who, for those of you who know a lot about the entrepreneurial ecosystem, you've probably heard of Callie, but right now she is serving as the Director of Marketing for the UMKC Innovation Center and has been one of the leading minds of GEWKC for 2023 and hopefully far, far into the future. Callie, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're going to go ahead and crack into it, and I'm going to be real honest with you folks. This is going to be a quick one because I actually want to get back into that room, but I just wanted to kick it off. Talk to us a little bit about Global Entrepreneurship Week. Can you tell us, let's just start with the base. What is GEW?
GEW at its core is a free educational conference for everything business ownership. And sometimes, yes, we use the word entrepreneurship, but the reality is that most entrepreneurs don't even think of themselves as entrepreneurs. It's such a scary word.
It's so sad.
And so it really isolates a lot of business owners, especially like Main Street, small business. And so what we're trying to really do is rebrand it to be an educational conference for all things business ownership.
Yeah. Well, and that crucial that education piece is so important. So Callie, I know that you are you a former or recovering entrepreneur? Are you
both. Yeah.
Recovering entrepreneur? We're going to go with that because we all know that the journey is difficult. But Callie, talk to us a little bit about why GEW resonates with you. I'm sure that you got some reasons.
Yeah. So I think the thing with GEW is that we don't have a lot of time as entrepreneurs. We're like very short on time. So if you can pack everything that I need in a few days, I can make that happen. But if this were to be classes here and there throughout the year, I would miss so much value. So I think what's really great about this is that it means that you can give up just 3 days.
You can chunk time, you get to be a lot more efficient. Yeah. So chunking time, this is like a whole time management system, but the fact is it's a lot easier to get one babysitter for 6 hours than it is to get 3 babysitters for 2-hour increments here and there, right? So we're doing it in one fell swoop. Now, I'm really, really curious, what was it like planning GEW with the KC SourceLink team, and I know that y'all have a planning committee. What was it like to be working with these entrepreneurial minds?
Well, it was a little bit nerve-wracking because it was my first GEW. I just started in January, and I sort of wanted to flip it on, like the whole thing on its head.
Yeah.
And so I knew that I was going to have to light a few things on fire, but luckily I sort of had the rein to do that. So I picked a few things that I thought were really important. The scheduling, the way that it's always run from at a base camp for 5 days, I thought was a little bit intense and just hard to manage. And then advertising and a few other, the event management piece.
Yeah. Really quickly, friends, I do want to just show, we already have some fans for Callie here in the audience. Isaac Collins, who's an incredible ally, business leader in his own right. We love Isaac. Check out Yogurtini. Head down to the Plaza location is my personal favorite. Yes, I'm not going to lie, because I like hanging out at the library, but definitely go check them out. Love Callie. So humble in her journey, but an absolute beast. And I I 1000% agree with that. I have to admit, I have a little bit. I didn't tell her this, so close your ears. But I have a little bit of a girl crush on Callie. It's kind of sad. So I'm really, really excited to be talking to you now. Now, you said something really interesting. You said that you wanted to turn GEW on its head. Can you explore that a little bit with us?
Yeah. So I've been an entrepreneur, 3 businesses, and I hate to even admit this, but I never gave up the time to come to Global Entrepreneurship Week. So I'd see the billboards, and all I thought to myself was, you've lost your mind if you think I have time to go to a celebration.
Right.
I thought it was like a celebration.
It's just a big party.
Yeah, it was a party, and that's kind of how it's always been advertised. And so the first thing I came in and said is like, how are you going to get somebody with the littlest amount of free time out of any demographic to give up their time? We need to really talk to their pain points. And entrepreneurs, their pain point isn't let's find another party. Their pain point is education. It's growth. It's revenue. It's community of other entrepreneurs. And so that's really kind of what I wanted to do. Was it was a rebrand, essentially.
Yeah. Well, and I talk about this on Startup Hustle all the time, but the fact is most entrepreneurs, we're problem solvers. And so we start with a problem, and then we usually kind of move into working with a product or a service, right? Like we get really, really good at developing a solution, whatever that solution might be. So for InnovateHER KC, we're a solution to the problematic issues of professional women's equity, right? We're a solution. But we get tunnel vision. And so sometimes it's really hard to do the marketing or the sales or the accounting or all of the things that we have to do in order to make a business run. We're so focused on that solution piece. And it's really difficult to switch gears. It's really difficult to know what we don't know. And so that education piece is so crucial. How can we build a firm foundation for people who want to build really strong businesses? How can we make it easy for them to understand what they need, the tools, the resources, the championship, the customers? How can we help them better monetize? It's just this really fantastic opportunity. I come to Global Entrepreneurship Week every single year, and I consider myself an OG of the ecosystem at this point. And like, I love coming to GEW because it's an amazing connection opportunity. But above all, I learn so much. It's incredible. So Callie, I'm curious, other than girls just want to have funding, which we're going to be talking about in just a minute, what are some of the pieces of programming that you're really looking forward to?
So I am looking forward to Hush Blackwell's event tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
It's avoiding common legal mistakes. And actually Isaac is one of the panelists. And I really wanted to find entrepreneurs that had businesses that resonated with the larger audience. So I think historically we've done a lot of tech entrepreneurs that doesn't really make up the greater percentage of our audience. And so this year we have Main Street, we have CPG, we do have one tech panelist. And I think, when I look at all of my oopsies moments that were much more tragic than just the word oopsie, but we'll just go with it. It was all because of a legal issue. And up until nobody is, no matter how experienced you are, if you don't see it coming, man, it can take you down. And so I'm really excited for that panel because that's the one area that I harp on the most. Yeah. So I definitely wouldn't miss that. There's an event Friday afternoon for fashion and entrepreneurship. I think it's I love the diversity of getting different pillars in, and that's something that we haven't seen historically. For sure. There's Numbers Made Simple, which I think is like, Made Simple. Come on, it's really not that. Counting is actually not that hard. It's the most important thing you need. But it just is that we make it so complicated. Yeah. Well, and I think you're absolutely right. And I just kind of want to underscore a point that you just made. I think that as an ecosystem, it would serve us really well to kind of broaden our understanding of what entrepreneurship is. So just as a for instance, Innovators Create. That's something that we do. It is a virtual performance and art gallery for our creative members. And we do that because the fact is creatives are often entrepreneurs. You have to create, but then you have to sell your art and you have to sell yourself and you have to figure out how to find those revenue streams and channels and opportunity. To your point, fashion.
Huge. We have so many members. Our COO, Jackie, she has Teal House Labs with the teal bottom shoes. Check them out, by the way. And I imagine they'll probably be in the gift guide. Just keep an eye out. But we have Style versus Fashion with Devioni Branscombe. Like, we have all of these entrepreneurs who exist within spaces that are not the high-tech, highly scalable, venture-backable companies. Like, the fact is, we're all on the grind, even though our tactics might look different, right? Yeah. And that's kind of the point. And I think that's kind of the point that you're making and that GEW makes year after year. How do we recognize the entrepreneurial mindset, right? Because that's what it's about. Yes. So tell us this, Callie. I'm actually gonna pick on you as Callie the human rather than Callie the organizer for just 1 second. If you could give any advice to the entrepreneurs out there, of which we have many within the IHKC ranks, what advice would you give them?
Well, I know what immediately comes to mind, and I'm like,
hey, we love the knee-jerk reaction.
Here's the thing. Anybody who wants to start a business, I tell them to get a therapist. It is like
that's a fair point.
What happens is your stress load gets to a point that you've probably never had in your life. And a lot of us don't know how to cope with that. And for me in my first business, that was really, really challenging. I put all of it inside, and I held on to all of it. And I had all of these problems that were so much bigger than me. And I thought I could take on these problems. And now I've learned that if you really want to move forward in business, like, get a therapist, get somebody that you can talk to about the things that you otherwise don't want to talk to anybody else about. It's my number one business advice.
Well, and if you can't afford a therapist, which I'm sure that there's, I struggle with it sometimes. I fully believe in therapy, believe you me. But that being said, like, to your point, find that strong support network. Like, it can be your best friend. It could be your mom. It could be the people in your life who are invested in your success. But the point is, like, we have to find safe places to put some of this stuff. It is difficult. It is lonely. It is stressful to be an entrepreneur. I often tell people it's the most exhilarating, beautiful thing that you can do that will also make you feel like beating your head against a wall. Like, it's this really weird dichotomy.
It is, I was telling someone the other day, this is the first time in my life that I haven't owned the business that I'm running or been, sort of the head of it. And as crazy as that is, and as much stress as it is, I was telling someone the other day, there was never a day in my life that I felt like I was working. Yeah. Now, in the moment, I probably would have told you, I was like, oh my God, there's so much work. But truly, when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, that was actually pretty great. And so it's being mindful of really the opportunity that you have when you own a business, and the biggest opportunity you have is freedom.
Absolutely. All right, friends. Well, just thank you so much, Callie. And just friends, if you're catching this on the replay, make sure in the comments to put some kudos for this amazing leader. She definitely deserves it. Keep an eye out on Friday. So InnovateHER, we have already had our first GEW event. We did a Q&A session with Pixel Law and Hovey CPA. There you go. Hovey Williams CPA. Yeah. They rebranded. They switched it up on me. Sorry. Hovey Williams CPA. We did How to Start a Business. So definitely check that out. I do believe that the video will be posted somewhere. When I figure out where that is, I'm going to come back, post it in the comments for you all to take a look at. It was a really great session. We have a session coming up on Friday. Xavier, come here. We have a session coming up on Friday. We're very excited about it. This will be our third year of doing Girls Just Want to Have Funding, but we wanted to move it over to the GEW space so we could have a really cool event. But we're going to be talking about founders. We're going to be talking about the issues that they experience when trying to raise capital, which I know it's one of the big three for us: capital, healthcare, childcare. So it's a big conversation. It'll be really important. We've got Xavier Hankins over here of Brown Sugar Labs and Literacy KC, and one of our wonderful members. Are you excited about GEW?
I am. It's been great so far. I haven't been able to go to much, but
it's only Tuesday, y'all. You still got some time.
Tuesday, it might feel like Friday, but it's Tuesday.
That's right. But Xavier has been on IHKC Live before, so everybody say hi. Thank you, Xavier.
Thank you.
All right, friends. So definitely keep an eye out for Girls Just Want to Have Funding. We're gonna. It kicks off at 2. We're going to have a welcome from Dr. D'Angela Burns-Wallace of the Kauffman Foundation, new CEO. We're very excited to have her speak. We're going to hear some founder stories from Adrian Haynes of Seed Legal and Maria Flynn. We're going to have a panel discussion with Janae Gamage, Melissa Vincent, and a couple other leaders from the IHKC and entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Kansas City. It'll be a great event. Hope you can join us. Keep an eye out for our upcoming monthly meetup. It'll be a coffee this time. We're going to be at Urban Tea Bar doing a tea tasting on December 5th. And then on December 13th, I do believe we have the Sarcoa Glow, which is going to be a free walk. Bring your families. We'll have some hot chocolate from Cafe Corazon, another member organization, and we certainly hope you can join us. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let Callie go. She's very, very busy, and we're very grateful that she took the time. But I want to go crack into some strategic planning so that we can support you better. Thanks so much, friends, for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Bye, thanks.